I will try to do the Minecraft stream a little closer to normal time. Uh, I I woke up at like 2 a.m. and sort of edged out. I don't actually think I went back to sleep, but I sort of edged out, and then the cat finally she basically didn't, and it could be because I didn't do laundry at all last week, and then this week I'm doing it today, and then next week I will do it in the later half of the week, and then the third week I probably won't do it, and then I'll do it right away. I'm trying to do it not quite every week, but I don't want to do it every other week either. And I know damn well there's times I fuck this up, but I think I might be fucking it up this week, but I think I got it right. Uh, the Okay, that's my streaming character. Let's go ahead and continue. I gotta see where I'm at. I Where am I? We're in Act 5. I'm pretty sure I didn't get this last time either. Um, if I plan on doing it next time, I'll probably forget because I think I was planning on it. I'm honestly don't remember. I think I would have planned on doing it this time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and quit. And we'll do game settings, adventure. Okay, now it might be because the other one's high enough level now, but it was something I just noticed new the other day. I hit adventure and it gave me like a menu option, but it's not giving it because it was like right here, and you had like three options of what you want to do, and I never remember seeing that before. We'll go into Act 1. Now, this might make this a short stream because if it's too hard to play, I'll just end the stream and then I'll go play my off stream one, or I'll jump into Minecraft or something. And let's go ahead and continue. Uh, One thing I want to say, if you ever talk to people and they don't believe in alien human hybrids, seriously, get them. This is something I'll say often. Look at members of the Republican Party in office and their voters, and go to Walmart at 3 in the morning sometime. Maybe not every day, but if you go there enough, pretty soon you will see evidence of alien human hybrids. These primordial fucking beasts that not all of them, but there's some of them. Or go live in Indiana for a few years. Oh my God, that's bad. There's actually decent people in India. There really are. There's decent people. There's a lot of shitty people, but you can say the same thing about Wisconsin, I'm sure too. So, um, Crusader really carried his weight on that one.
This beast hasn't been dead long.
Inspect the dead beast. Kill burrow bile. I have no, that must be these, yeah, burrowing leper. When I kill enough of these guys, something's probably gonna pop out.
Here's their foul leader.
Yeah, this guy wants to run some tests on my asshole. You're not gonna get me. No, no. Aha, I got you, old bastard. How you like that? How you like them apples?
Those scavengers trapped my poor wife and me down there for hours. I'm sure she'd love to meet you, and thank you for your help.
I am returning to town.
I noticed that Diablo 4 was on sale, and I thought long and hard about it, and I really don't think I really don't have the money to waste on it. I really wish I really seriously wish I did. I cannot tell you how much. It'll be the first one of those games that I have not bought since they started, since Diablo 1. Okay, the Weeping Hollow. With any luck, I can make it through at least Act 1 before I have to switch to the easy mode again. You know, this is the thing, and I sometimes forget this, but this is what I used to do before they ever had this adventure mode. When I, like that, I don't think they had, well, you gotta think, the internet's come a long way, but like with the original one, most people, I think, were still on dial-up.
My hatred is too low.
For the original one. And, yeah, most people, I think, were on dial-up, and then, you know, by Diablo 2, and I could be wrong on this, but I think Diablo 2 high speed was just starting to come around. And, yeah, I like that when I'm doing my normal thing, occasionally it shoots out these rockets. That's one of those all that pillar where you can steal powers from these old magic items.
We have done it!
I kind of told the cat, I go, I mean, because she's done this before, where, you know, and it's her usual thing at night, where she checks on everybody. She's like running patrol on that, and she's getting older, but she still does it. And so there's times where, and I even went to bed early last night, because there's been a last couple days. Now, granted, she's been letting me sleep, and I think that's why she's trying to get me to go to bed early. Because, you know, and when I say I stayed up late, I was up until like 10 o'clock. That's when I went to bed. And like last night, I think it was 8. It was like just turning 8, or it just turned 8 when I went to bed last night. And and like tonight I woke or to this morning I woke up at like 2 in the morning. But the last couple nights I was up till like 9:30, 10 o'clock before I went to bed. Well then, and I think it's because she hasn't really been hungry, but she pretty much let me sleep. And
I need more
and
hatred
I
to
think
do
it's
that.
partly because she's not all that hungry, but still it's kind of nice. And
My hatred is too low.
and but she was bugging me the last couple nights, before last night, and I figured it was she wanted me to go to bed. And what she'll do is when she's done, she did this when my mom was still alive. Once she got me tucked in, then she'd leave and she'd go patrol the house. And then most nights, not every night, but most nights, she'd be there when I woke up in the morning. And it's the way it's been for a while, especially since my mom finally passed away. She would basically be there, Last night she wasn't. And I woke up at 2 o'clock and I got back in bed and started vegging out a little bit. But when she finally came and got me, I told her, I said, well, you weren't here when I woke up. Oh my god. I gotta be honest with you. I can't remember what the first song of hers. I'm not like a big fan of Taylor Swift, but I like some of her music. I ain't gonna lie, and I've liked it since she came out. And I don't really hate any of her music, but there's some of her songs I actually like listening to. Garth Brooks is kind of the same way. There's I don't really see any of his songs as bad, but there's some of his songs that they're on my playlist. They're on the jukebox of my life. Oh, that cat! Hi there, Trouble. I think he's getting to understand what I'm doing laundry means, because he really wanted to go out on the porch when I was getting up. And I told him, I'm going to do laundry today. And again, I'm up early, so I'm going to try and, I figured I'd get it started. I'm like, I can get up and do the laundry. Well, the thing is, I usually lay in bed with my foot up until like lunchtime. And, lunchtime is like 10, 11 o'clock. Cats usually get fed like around 10. And then after I feed them, I start trying to wrangle my lunch. And the thing I thought was, I'm like, well, if I I'm like, if I get up and do laundry, I won't have a bed to lay in. So I thought about it some more. And I thought, well, I can come in here, and then I figured by the time I get done loading the laundry, if I still feel like it did, I could do a stream or whatever. That's what I got. And so I came in. Well, then when I got up, I realized that if I was going to do more laundry, I should quickly fold the towels and stuff from the last time I did laundry, because I had a whole shitload of towels in there, and I did that, got them all put away, and might even do towels today. Definitely got to do my socks, but I figure, well, if I get up and I start them early. Now the shitty thing is, if I get tired and I need a nap, I'll have to like nap in here, because I don't have a bed to go lay on. So, but now the the one thing that surprised me, and maybe it's just shit, I don't know, it might not, because usually the stuff I get at all these seems like it's pretty good stuff. You know, you get what you pay for, but you know, it really seems like the stuff you buy at Aldi's, even if it's inexpensive, it's still pretty good. You know, uh, I got a loaf of bread out there. My brother didn't really like it, but I mean, it wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie and say, oh man, if I had unlimited money, I would still be buying it. But it was like French, something like a French bread. It had a special name, but it was like a French bread. And I didn't think it was all that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but for what I paid for it, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not gonna pick it up like every time I go, but every now and then, because I don't eat a lot of bread. I gotta be honest with you. The last time I went to Aldi's, I haven't done this since my stomach was really active. I just don't eat a lot of bread, and you know, because I'm not going through what I was going through. It, you know, again, I really don't know, but it just seems like I was drugged to poison when I was working at GM. But when I was down there, if I didn't eat enough bread, I had problems. If I ate too much bread, I had fucking problems. And that was one of the, I never understood. I'm like, well, man, bread should either be bothering me or it shouldn't. But it seemed like if I could find the happy balance, the Goldilocks zone, well, then when I lost my job and I couldn't work anymore, well, whatever was happening wasn't happening anymore, and I could basically go without eating bread, and it wasn't really bothering me that much, you know. And so I just don't eat that much bread, you know. Like now, if I do BLTs, yeah. But when I went to Aldi's the last time, they got these wraps you can buy, and they had two different kinds, and I can't remember what the other one, but I never minded it. I used it. I don't know if it's wheat or something else. They got one that's made out of sun-dried tomatoes or something like that. They turned it into like you know, it's kind of like those ones where they tell you that there's a pasta you can buy made out of zucchini or something like that. You know, that kind of stuff. Well, they took tomatoes and they made a wrap out of it. But it's more like a wrap. It's not like you know, tomato husks or anything like that. And I almost got it because I really like it. Most of the time when I want a sandwich, I just eat the components. Like I'll grab a hunk of lettuce, I'll grab some veggies. If I got tomatoes, maybe I'll cut a tomato up. And I do not. I do not make the sandwich, but I just grab the lettuce, the cheese, the tomatoes, and I just eat them, you know. And I'm thinking, oh man, because I don't really care if I have the bread. If I don't eat a lot, you know, I do BLTs, yeah, bread's on the menu. But and we had BLTs for supper last night. But man, yeah. After we ate, and I'm not complaining because I got another package of bacon. We'll be having BLTs in another day or two. But last night when I got it, it was after I got into bed, so it was like several hours later. After I laid down, I burped, and there was like an after burp, and it tasted okay, but you definitely taste that flavor coming back up after the burp or whatever. And
I need to go back.
which might not have happened if I wasn't doing the bread, but no, but I almost got it. Cause I'm thinking, man, I could make some wraps because I like wraps. I can eat those, and I'm fine with it. But I remembered when I tried doing that down there, and I kept it up until I was done down there because it was just easier on my stomach sometimes. And but I tried it. And I watched those people at the deli at Kroger's. I watched them do it, and I could not figure it out. But I would every time I do those wraps and I try and get it done like they did, I'd end up ripping it, and I really don't know what I was doing wrong. I really do not know what I was doing wrong. Uh, I read somewhere, and this is an actual fact, according to the Army. This is an actual fact. Um, the Army, and they've got decades of experience at it. Like it was a book until some moron I worked with poured a whole shitload of water on. I was reading this trivia book on the military, and like one of them is the Army had figured out that somebody who had been shot at in combat was 10 times more likely to survive all future combats. Because then it's kind of like the, maybe if they're out of it for a while, I'm making it akin to what they call ring rust in the fight business, whether it's MMA. MMA borrowed it from boxing, but I'm gonna stay with the life for a second. But they call it ring rust, where people, that one didn't have a life or anything. But if you got somebody that, and again, it's the same way. If you get somebody that goes from a little venue to the UFC, they're a little shell shocked. If you've got somebody that's been out of it for a while and they suddenly come back after an injury, after retirement, come on up, Patches. Come on. Yeah. And they'd have that ring rust, and until they get hit a few times, and if you get hit once, you get lights out. And what they found was that, their statistics showed that people who had successfully survived combat were 10 times more likely to survive future engagements, because they would not get freaking out. Like there was a book I read. I am not going to be able to remember the guy's name. He's one of the Filipino, and I believe if you get into the Filipino martial arts, it is not like karate or taekwondo or any of the other, I'm gonna say McDojos, but I don't mean it the way it's gonna sound. What I'm talking about is it's a uniform standard that is somewhat consistent nationwide. Somebody told me that they never had the belt system until they came over here to sell it to us. That over there you didn't have the belts. You just showed up and trained. I'm not even sure you had the pajama suits to wear. That was all an American thing. It was all a marketing ploy for us that we didn't need. But like with the Filipino martial arts, and I think people that maybe, and some of it might be true even for those of us in it, you can say it's less organized, it's more confused. I think on some level it has earned that. But when you talk about and again, I don't mean it the way most people do, the McDojo arts, because they're franchises. And you can go into a Taekwondo studio across the country and have a fairly simple experience based on the skill level of everybody there. You can absolutely do that. You really can. And same thing with karate. Most of your jujitsu, Aikido, I'm not so sure of, and that's a longer story than I really want to get into right now, because I was taking judo for a while, and I'll just give you the clip. I'm just not going to go into it right now. If I think about some other time, I might.
This place is a backwater filled with
maybe once I get done with the other story, if I remember, maybe I'll come back to this. But when I was taking judo, the guy that was teaching that, it was out of town here, but it was pretty close by. It was like 20-30 minutes away to get there. Well, the judo guy there, he was pretty well respected, I guess, in the United States. Really nice guy. The whole group. I'm not kidding you. I don't know if all judo schools are like that. I got a feeling a lot of them are. But you could not ask for a better group of people. You literally could not ask for a better group of people. He was telling us a story. I don't know if it was telling me. They knew I came from something else. And I don't know if he narked me out, but the guy that invited me I'd known him since I was in grade school. I knew the family, and he invited me, and I go, I don't mind going, but I go, I really don't want them to know that because I told him, I just want to go there and train. I don't really want to get into a hissing contest with everybody. So I go, some people get weird when you come from it. I just want to train. I don't know how long I'm going to be there, but I just want to come in and train. That's all I want to do. And I think he told him, but if he didn't, because this happened when I took a boxing refresher course, you get in there and the people that know what they're doing, when you start doing stuff, they're like, okay, you've done something before. They recognize that you've been trained. Good or bad, it's just the way it is. I think I don't really need I really don't need the package from Angel of Justice, so I might go in there and try and level up. Might end the stream. But he told us these Aikido stories because after the Steven Seagal movies, they really wanted to learn that. Steve, and this is the thing for anybody, and I don't care what art you're doing. You got to understand. This is something Bruce Lee said, because there is a theatrical Jeet Kune Do, and then there is a real life Jeet Kune Do. And he, because one, and it is what it is. But they're trying to sell a movie. They're not trying to, it is what it is. But he basically, in that, you get these people that are like, oh yeah, you study that, and then they want all this shit that they saw in the movies. Like, yeah, that's theatrical JKD. That's not really what we do in the show. And this is exactly what happened, because they wanted the Steven Seagal Aikido, and it wasn't there. Jesus Christ, I don't know what the hell it is. I get the hell out of here, because it's like I got.
I need more hatred to do that. I'm still waiting. Not enough hatred. Need more time.
Oh, I forgot about those.
That would not be wise.
They went there, and it was not, let's just say, I'm not saying it was good or bad, it was not what they were expecting. But again, that, like, if you go and you watch Bruce Lee, and it's not what we do. That's, like, Bruce Lee does all these high flying fantastic kicks, and there was somebody down in Indiana that was really the guy in question, everybody's got issues. I got absolutely, but the guy really knew how to kick. Absolutely knew how to kick. If you wanted to kick, you wanted to do them high fancy, he could definitely get you there. If you put in the work and you had the ability, he could definitely get you there. And he made a comment, and I told him, I don't really do this on the internet. I told him, I really don't do that. But I go, go to him. I go, he knows that stuff. And I told him, I go, all I'm gonna say is, for me, I don't find them all that useful or practical. But I go, I can tell you a fact. If you learn those fantastic kicks and you ever land one on somebody in a bar, out in real life, I go, word will probably spread, and you'll probably have nobody ever fuck with you again in your life. Or at least most people won't, because I go, that'll just, and I go, they don't even have to see it. All they got, because that happened to my buddy in high school, from what I heard. He pancaked somebody sophomore year, and they didn't have a freshman year. They had a freshman year at that school when I was a senior, but they didn't have a freshman year. It was just like 10th, 11th, 12th grade in high school, and he was there when I was there at first. But he pancaked this guy into a locker. The guy fucked with him first. But he did. He just flattened him, and he said, he goes, it was like a cartoon. He just like slid down the wall, but he did a jumping sidekick, a jumping spinning sidekick, and just pancaked him. And he just sort of slid down the wall. And there was another guy. This guy was a wrestler, and he snuck up and picked him up over his shoulders, and he's like, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? And he just sort of looked, and all he could see was the guy's butt, so he just reached down and grabbed onto a testicle and squeezed it until the guy put him down. And he said at the end of school, when they were signing the yearbook, and I think it was 12th grade. It wasn't 10th grade anymore. It was 12th grade. When that guy signed his book, he goes, don't squeeze my testicles anymore. He goes, hey, it was really great knowing you. Don't have to squeeze my testicles again, please. He was real polite about it. But he put it in the yearbook, and I don't think it was that year. I think it was when they graduated. Like, man, I forgot all about it, and he was bringing it up while he regret. But he brought it up in a joking way, sort of. What do we got? Ooh. This one's definitely better. The other one's got life per second, though, so we're going to keep that. I think I might hang on to that. Okay, so we'll go to Northern Highlands. Oh, I guess I didn't go in there. I guess I'm not doing that. I thought about going into that one. I forgot. But, yeah, so they really didn't want to do the Aikido. And he went into detail. And again, I don't think he would mind. I don't think it's an embarrassing story that he'd be embarrassed by. But again, that was the whole gist of it. But I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm just waking up. I feel fine. But this is why I usually stay in bed until I feed the cats, because I'm not always firing at even my normal anymore good. It's like today I feel, so far I feel fine, but it takes me a few hours to function. I was talking about Taylor Swift. Yeah, I don't even know how I got onto the other thing, but Taylor Swift, I've always liked some of her music, but she's been really getting active, and she's one of them ones that has never been when she saw, them basically taking away women's rights, basically for religious reasons, not anything good, but political and religious reasons, she got a little active, and I think she's doing a lot of good. I hope one, I hope she stays safe as a priority. I really do.
Always wanted to fight.
I almost, and that's the only reason I don't really feel comfortable with her getting involved in it. There's a lot of mentally unstable people out there. There just really is, and there really just is, and the I really don't want to see her. I don't want to see her. I mean, because you take and she's not Taylor Swift. She's a lifelong Republican. She's not the enemy, by any means. While that Liz Cheney, she was getting so many death threats. Her people didn't think she could safely campaign in her last election, and that's the only thing I worry about. Is I appreciate what Taylor Swift is doing, and I'm an even bigger fan of hers for doing it. Putting her country ahead of her safety and maybe even common sense. But I don't want to see her get hurt. I really don't. And so I hope she's got good people around her helping her out. I really, really do. But yeah, she's she tweeted something about people getting out and vote, and the states, like I think it was like in multiple states, might not have been in every state, but when she tweeted out something about getting registered so they can vote and take back women's rights and protect things for workers and that, there was like a massive upsurge in young people being registered, and like I said, I'm just a big fan of that, because, and I want to be clear, I don't really have anything against him as a person. I really don't. But like Kid Rock and other celebrities, they really, and again, I don't think it was their intention. I just don't think they knew any better. And but that I can't think of that one guy. He was basically, I think, shooting cartons of Bud Light or some other bullshit. Kid Rock, I think it might have been. And they but they helped the Republicans. And again, I don't think this was their goal. I really don't. And here's the thing: if you've got an athlete, take a look at Herschel Walker. And I don't really have anything against him, but when some of the stuff came out, and here's the thing: if I ran for office, you'd have some horrible shit come out about me. You really would. I'm not a great person. I am not even a Mother Teresa. I'm really not. There are far better people out there to follow and think highly of me. I mean that sincerely. I just watched. I think it's one of the Jane Austen ones. It's the one that had Keira Knightley in it. I think it was Pride and Prejudice. The one with Pemberton Hall or Pemberton Estate or whatever it is. It was one with Keira Knightley. I can't think of the actor's name, but he was in the Kingsman movies. He was in The King's Speech. He was Uncle Jamie in Let's Split. First place I really noticed was his Uncle Jamie in Love Actually. But he was playing, I think, Darcy or Darby or something like that. and that's probably so far to this date my favorite adaptation of whatever, whichever one of those two it is. I think Pride and Prejudice, but it might be Sense and Sensibility. Well, I think I've seen it before, but it's been a while, and I had the opportunity to watch it the other day, so I popped it in, and there's a scene in there where I think it's Judi Dench. She's trying to get Keira Knightley to play, and like the second or the third time she insisted, Keira Knightley, playing the middle Miss Bennett. I can't think of the character's first name, but she told her, she goes, I do not suffer from false modesty because I'm really not that good. I don't suffer from any false modesty. I'm really not a great person. I'm absolutely not. At times I am a decent person. I generally tend to be fair. But if you want to act like a fucking asshole, if you want to act like a childish prick, I'm probably going to be better at it. I'm probably absolutely going to be better at it. And you probably aren't going to deserve what happens to you on it. But it's like, I generally don't start shit. I usually finish them, but I generally don't start shit. Usually I let more corrupt and horrible people than me do it. And then I don't feel so bad about it. But I try to be nice. I try to be rational. I try to be reasonable. But at a certain point, I just get tired of dealing with fucking stupid people. I don't care if they're family or not. I really don't. At a certain point, the polite hat comes off and the dealing with dumb fuck hat gets put on. And a lot of people like it, but they should look in the mirror for their problems, not looking at me. And I think the world would be a better place if more people did that. You get these people, and some of them are women, some of them are men. They've been catered to their whole fucking life. It's kind of like when you ever watch that old, I think it's still on, but that old the one that Simon was on before he was on that America's Got Talent. I think it was American Idol or something like that. There were so many people on there that, and this was horrible. I honestly feel this was horrible. But there were so many people on there. I just thought they got brought in. And so I didn't really feel that bad about it at first. I figured it's more a problem. It's more to blame on their friends and family. You get those people that just, they're like me. They absolutely had no fucking talent. No talent whatsoever. And they got in there and they were just shocked when Simon was a fucking asshole to them. Well then, and that show had been on for a while. I was reading something, it might have been in like Maxim magazine. Well, you found out that when those people came on the show and they sucked like that, they had gone through multiple auditions. And at that point, I didn't feel really good about blaming these people anymore. Because it's like, you show up, you go through like 3, 4, 5 or more auditions. And they keep moving you to the next category and the next category and the next category. You might start to incorrectly think that you got talent, or why in the fuck would they keep advancing you? Because I always thought, man, these people should have known. They're not like 3 years old. They're grown-ass adults. Somebody should have told them they fucking sucked at this point. And so I figured it was their own fucking fault, kind of like those memes that go around where they usually do it with one of the Dumb and Dumber characters, but they would sit there and the girl would be talking to him. She's like, unless you were the last man on earth, I wouldn't fuck you. And then the Dumb and Dumber guy's like, so you're saying there's a chance? And that, I figured it was one of those things where somebody told them, yeah, you fucking suck. And they're like, oh yeah, what do you know? I'll figure it out later, but no, they were basically setting these people up. And I think that's pretty horrible. I really do. Well, the thing I will tell you is, when you get into politics, when you get into history, you generally, you do now, but growing up, you never usually got into this with math. It was history, science, and politics. And now I know there's a name for it. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. They you get these people that they're so stupid on a subject, and that's what Dunning-Kruger basically states is there are people that are so stupid about a subject they don't know they're fucking stupid. Oh, I was here already. What the hell did I do? Rescue the Wortham militia. Oh, I guess I did go into that wormhole then. And you get these people, you know, that you basically tell them, and again, a lot of it now they're on the internet. See, they used to be alone, and they knew, you know, they used to flunk people. If you were a fucking idiot, you got held back. You had to go to summer school. Well, and this was after I graduated, I think. Sometime after I graduated, they realized, well, these people are committing suicide. Well, their solution was not to fail them. Their solution was not to make them go to summer school. They just passed them. They found a way to get them passed. So these guys, and again, it's like American Idol. These people graduated. They got a high school diploma. In some cases, they got a college degree. And they're fucking morons. They're absolutely morons. There's just no way to be nice about it. And because, you know, they were passed on and passed on and passed on because they didn't want to deal with their fucking lunatic parents, or they didn't want these people to quit giving them money. So they found a way to pass them, which is really bad grades. And in a way, I kind of worked off my buddy because he was not a teacher. He did not go to school to become a teacher. Well, he got hired by a tech college to basically teach a course on how to run like computer systems, because that's what he did for a living. And they told him flat out that, you know, after like a year or two of his class, they were seeing a dramatic rise in the people that were actually able to get a fucking job, because he wasn't classically trained like a teacher. He actually taught people how to fucking do it. You know, where a lot of them out there, even in colleges, you know, if you're lucky, the person can spell computer when they come out of the class, but they can't actually do anything with it. You know, he actually taught them how to do the job. At least that's the feedback he was getting from his bosses. And, you know, people that hired him. I'm gonna kill these guys and then I'll go back to Worthingham or whatever it is. New Worthingham or whatever it is. But, I'm sorry, I'm all over that. I shouldn't have streamed today. I'll finish this up. I'll try and get my, okay, what do we got here? Can't stream this early in the morning or whatever. It's but yeah, you never used to have this, you know, because they didn't pass these people. They didn't graduate them until they actually learned something. But you got people walking around with a high school diploma that probably shouldn't have graduated the 8th grade until they learned something. You know,
Keep your distance from it. This burden is mine to bear. May death bring peace from your madness, Leon.
Traitors! Even in death, the armies of Condorus will still obey their king. Even if you will not.
and but now we have to deal with them. They've made prison and mental asylum. They don't want to spend the money on mental health, so they've made society and prison the recourse for these people that probably should not be adults. They should probably not have a high school diploma, and they shouldn't probably be out unmedicated and unsupervised. And we're dealing with it. Well, when you get somebody like Taylor Swift that's just trying to do the right thing, and she's dealing. Now, granted, some of these people in Congress, I think it always used to be they were the puppets of these people. These people would vote them in, and these people would vote them in, and expect them to do the stupid shit. It's kind of like these sovereign citizens when they get a lawyer. They figure, well, I'm paying for this lawyer. He's got to represent me in the way that I choose. Well, no, they can't, because these lawyers could lose their law license if they do that.
That was just a taste.
Look at Skeleton King. And that's the problem we got. And this is the thing. And I'm not gonna say I knew this was gonna happen, but I knew this was a possibility, because you go back to when Bush first ran. Bush 43, him and Karl Rove. They went. This was when his dad was running for his second term. They went to him and said, "Hey, we got all these lunatics." And they didn't call them lunatics, but it was people that had been thrown out of the Republican Party like decades ago. I can't remember. He was a presidential nominee. He didn't win, but there was an old school Republican. I think Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton was a Republican. She volunteered for the Republicans on the Watergate side. Goldberg, I think, Gold something or other was the guy's name. I think he was an Arizona senator that ran for president. He threw him out of the party, the fucking wingnuts, the super religious fucking crazy fuckers. Well, they wanted to bring them back. And I can't remember the name of the group, but Bush and Trump were like, "Oh, we can invite these guys into the party, and we can." And this is the thing, Bush's dad, for all his flaws, that was one of his good things. He's like, "No, I'd rather not win." He basically made the determination. I think he told him, "I'd rather not win than win with those people," because he knew they were fucking lunatics. He absolutely knew they were fucking lunatics, and he didn't want to do that to not his party. He didn't want to do that to his country, because he had an idea the danger they represented. And I honestly don't consider this political, because they are a clear and present danger to the United States.
Perhaps I'm simply
and
from
there was talk back then.
By the recent change of
it was being reported kind of in the shadows. It was real news, but it wasn't headline stuff. They didn't spend a half an hour talking about it on any news show or whatever, at least none of the big ones. But these wingnuts, when they got in there, it was being reported by some that they weren't gonna just fucking vote for these Republicans and not get what they want. They didn't care about right or wrong. They didn't care about realistic. They didn't even care how it was done. This is where the lunatic fringe came in. They just wanted what they wanted. They absolutely just wanted what they wanted. And they said, if we don't get this from him, then fine, we're going to take, basically that's where they started primarying decent people. And that's how you ended up with your Jim Jordan, your Marjorie Taylor Greene, and your others.
No, I will not do that.
And that's where we're at now. Well, we just had some Palestinian kid who had absolutely nothing to do with Israel. Nothing at all to do with Israel. He got killed by somebody. And the authorities were talking to his wife, and she basically said, "Well, yeah, he watches Fox News all the time." That's where he learned sad thing is, until they actually, like this lawsuit that Dominion and them, they're going to start getting these lawsuits against Fox News and the other right-wing news and bankrupt them like we did the KKK back in the day. And I think that's what they did. I think they need to file that's called their nickname, the KKK law. But all these right-wing fuckers out there, they need to start taking action against them and making them like. I don't know if it'll happen, and who knows? I'm not a lawyer. Maybe there's no cause for it in law. I don't know, but they need to try and bankrupt the station because they caused this shit. You know, it gets come out in court. You know, you got it comes out to the authorities. It comes out in court that a lot of these people you see in there, they're killing people. They watch this right-wing media, and then they go out and gun down decent people that have nothing to do with the. I mean, even if the stuff they were mad about was real, which most of it isn't, but even if it was real, the people they're killing have nothing to do with it. You know, absolutely nothing to do with it. And our country is not safe because of it. I mean, if you're a kid, I feel sorry for you. We had take shelter drills. We had duck and cover drills for fire, and you've got some of that. But when I was in grade school, I think it was mostly done. We had a really cool principal, but we did these duck and cover drills where we were basically doing what little we could in case there was a nuclear attack by Russia. And it wasn't really. I mean, if we got hit anywhere nearby, it wasn't going to help us. The walls may do a little bit, but ducking under a desk wasn't going to help us. You know, and I think the desks we had back then, if the fucking roof came in on us, I don't think that would have protected us either. And we get. And I mean, it just didn't protect us, but we did it. You know, it's something to make us feel safe. You know, and who knows if it wasn't right on us? You know, it might protect us a little bit. And but you guys have to do these active shooter drills. At least with the duck and cover drills, we were in danger from Russia or another foreign country. But you guys are doing these active shooter drills because we've got mentally unstable people running around with firearms. That's why you guys have to do it. Not because of government. Well, maybe the government failure in not treating mental illness as seriously as they do. But we're all in danger because we don't want to fight. And again, a lot of it stems from we don't let stupid people know they're stupid anymore. We don't force stupid people to become educated before they graduate. And I hate to say it, but you know, if there's people that are going to commit suicide, that are going to be horrible, unstable people, like this guy that watched Fox News or right-wing media and killed that Palestinian kid down in Illinois, I think it was in Chicago. I would say that, you know, 30 years ago it would have been better if he'd killed himself because he was fucking stupid and they didn't let him graduate than that kid die. Because that kid might have turned out to be a healthy, intelligent, useful member of society, unlike that fucking MAGA person that killed him, unlike that right-wing media subscriber that killed him. And I'm sorry, it's horrible. I honestly think we should have a better case for dealing with mental defect. I really do. I firmly believe that. But until we do, we need to, and again, I think it's too late. I think we're fucking this, but they need to go back to where if these people are too stupid, if they're going to grow up to be a MAGA Republican or a fucking terrorist or both, they shouldn't graduate. You know, I don't care if it's 8th grade. I don't care if they're 24 years old and in 6th grade. You know, at a certain point, maybe you have a cutoff. It's like, yeah, education just isn't meant for you. You know, but they because it would be better. It would be better if they killed themselves when they're younger then they kill a whole bunch of people and then get killed by the cops, or we have to feed them in prison for the rest of their lives. I'm not saying it's right, but I would say it's the lesser of two evils, and right now we're dealing with the greater of two evils. We let these people grow up thinking they're smart, and you would get this when I was down in Indiana. You get this where these people were just shocked. I've done this before too, but this bitch, I don't know what her job was, but she was making your car. You could be driving around in something she was responsible for, but she was arguing with someone about the effectiveness of vaccines. I didn't tell her to have a really good video to explain to you how vaccines, even if the stuff they say about them is true, which they tell you it isn't, but even if that was true, why we still need vaccines, and they break it down pretty simply for you. But she was acting like vaccines didn't work, and I was reading it to get caught up, because when I got into these, if somebody else had already done the heavy lifting, I would just usually read a little bit and not get involved in it. Well, somebody had told her, well, vaccines cured polio, and rattle, and she goes, vaccines didn't cure polio, we call it the flu now. And I told them, I go, look, I think you're doing a great thing trying to educate people, but I go, some people are just too stupid to argue with. And that's all I really said, something along those lines. I didn't say, hey, that dumb bitch right here, screen name, whatever, street name, Chinese street name, some dumb bitch. I didn't do that. I just mentioned, well, she seemed to know exactly who I was talking about. And I ended up, that's one of the first fucking morons I had to block, because she was blowing up my Facebook. It isn't her, but I'm sure it's the same mentality that Ashley Babbitt that got shot in the Capitol. Too fucking stupid to listen. Didn't listen to people when told her she was a fucking moron. And then she goes into the Capitol and boom, they got to ventilate her head. Well, again, it would have been better if she died by her own hand, years and years ago, instead of going in there and being part of a public riot, trying to overthrow our legitimately elected government. I'm sorry, it's not good, but it's better. It's absolutely better than what happened. And she just kept blowing up my thing, and I just kept like, she goes, you called me stupid, and I go, you said vaccines didn't cure polio. I don't care about that. I go, that's the whole fucking point, and it's just tunnel vision. She had not, and I view this as the American Idol thing. She had never been informed. I mean, I seriously, she was a dumb bitch. At her age, I thought she knew. I literally thought she should have known. I firmly believe that. But because nobody had ever told her she was a fucking idiot, she got suddenly mad. And it's like, hey, look, don't blame me. Blame your teachers. Blame your family. They're the ones that let you down, not me. They literally are. But, and I told a couple people I worked with, they go, hey, I heard you stirred some shit up, and I told them what happened. And the one, and I don't know, I think she was from Ohio. I don't think she goes, are you sick? I go, swear to God. And she goes, that's fucking stupid. I go, yeah, that's, yeah. And, it is what it is. Well, I hope Taylor Swift and others keep helping out. I would rather see them be safe than do this. But if they do it, I think it is helping out. I think it's going to help out. And who knows, it might even save our country. It really might. I don't know. I think we're too far gone. I do. I really think we're too far gone. But maybe. But I hope they stay safe, because I don't want to see any of them get hurt trying to help out. And I hope that hope they got people around them that are keeping an eye on things, they're reporting any suspicious activity to the police. And I don't care right, left, center. I hope all the cops out there around this, regardless of their personal feelings or their lack of intelligence, I hope they take it seriously and protect these people. I'm going to call that a stream. Hope everybody has a good day. I might have to take. I might not stream today if I feel like I still might be this fucking out of it. I won't do a Minecraft stream today. But peace out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just slap the shit out of that like button, like a redheaded stepchild. If you're watching this on Twitter, even later, subscribe, tell your friends. Make comments on YouTube. Peace out, and I hope everybody has a good day.